Alright, first video we got is 5 most disturbing stealth camping encounters caught on camera. So for this, let's turn off the lights, you know what I'm saying? I recently did drop a scary video. I don't know how that's gonna do, because me personally, I was scared. God, Lord and Savior, I don't condone none of this. But let's get straight into it.
Ian on YouTube is a channel run by 30-year-old Ian who's been posting on the platform for the better part of a decade. His content covers everything from day-in-the-life work vlogs to different adventures after hours. And while most of it is nothing more than fun, one particular encounter left him shaken to his core. On January 18th, 2024, Ian posted a video going over the disturbing experience he had while stealth camping in a McDonald's parking lot in Palm Springs, California.
Oh, that's your first mistake.
Stealth
It was
camping,
McDonald's.
for those who don't know, is when someone spends the night in a vehicle or tent in an area not
I love
officially
watching these
designated
videos.
for camping, usually while trying to avoid detection. It's
Oh,
often
never mind.
done out
I
of
haven't
necessity,
seen those
curiosity, or simply for the thrill of it. And while it can be harmless, it also means the camper is completely exposed and vulnerable to whatever or whoever might be lurking nearby. This is exactly what happened with Ian on the 16th of January 2024. He'd been stealth camping for quite some time by that point, and had spent nights in much harsher conditions, like during heavy rain or in a sandstorm. So, staying overnight in a McDonald's parking lot seemed like nothing to him. Unfortunately, he couldn't have been more wrong.
Stealth camping alone is scary. I'd bring a buddy. Yeah. So I'm not too tapped in with the whole stealth camping, but I feel like I mean I could see why they would do it for like let's say for example like Walmart, like videos on Walmart, stuff like that. But I personally wouldn't do it myself if I don't have a reason for like.
After setting everything up, he went to lie down in the back of his car. But just as he was about to fall asleep, he was interrupted by the sound of someone repeatedly trying to open his car's door. He immediately got up to see who it was, and this is what he came across.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up?
Oh, hell no.
What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing?
Is that a homeless man?
Standing outside the passenger door. What made the encounter even more unsettling was that the man never said a word, even as Ian repeatedly called out to him
hell no!
Explanation for what he was doing.
Oh, hell no!
What's up? What are you doing, man? Ain't weird, bro.
Despite his panic, however, he made the wise decision to stay locked within his car and quickly drive to a more hidden spot.
Yo, what's up, Carlos?
But that wasn't enough.
Yo,
because just a few
I don't have no
minutes
subs
later, Ian
yet.
spotted the same man walking around the parking lot, possibly trying to locate his car. Fearing for his safety, he drove to a completely different location and managed to sleep through the rest of the night without any incident. Still, the question remained, who was this man and what exactly was he trying to do? Ian never made a follow-up or shared any more info regarding the encounter in the video's description, so we can only speculate on what happened that night. Now, it's entirely possible that he was just a harmless, mentally ill person who wasn't fully conscious of what he was doing.
Okay, this is the problem with me. If I'm ever gonna do something like this, like what you said, I'm gonna have to bring a buddy or I gotta have like a weapon on me. There's no way. Edna works. All right. There's no way me personally I'm gonna be doing this by myself, you know what I'm saying? Because if I do, I gotta have like a weapon on me.
However, a far more likely explanation is that the act of trying to break into Ian's car was completely intentional, and when he was caught, he just acted confused and harmless to seem less threatening. Perhaps he really thought the car was empty and was trying to steal it. Or maybe he knew Ian was inside and had intentions to rob him or something far more sinister. His strange behavior.
Ooh, if I had to, oh my god. I need a 12 with a switch. That's my favorite weapon. I will take that gladly. If I see somebody right there, guess what? We're taking it. We airing it out. We airing it out. I would love to.
Also suggested that he might have been under the influence of some kind of drugs, which would have made him even more unstable and, by extension, more dangerous.
But like, why?
Fortunately, Ian managed to drive away unscathed before he could find out the man's true intentions. On February 11th, 2024, stealth camping YouTuber Brendan Explores posted a video of him spending a night in the small village of Jaywick, England. The thing about Jaywick, however, is that it's been named as the most deprived town in all of England. The combination of high unemployment and poor living conditions has pushed many of its residents toward a life of crime.
All I need is a
Brendan,
spatula.
however, wanted to see the village firsthand to
You
decide
might
whether
be
it was
onto some
truly as bad as the
Doomslayer
media made
shit.
it out to be. His first impressions of the place were quite good, with him admiring the natural landscape surrounding the village. What he didn't realize at the time was that this lighthearted escape to the countryside would soon spiral into complete disaster.
Deadass?
It began with him driving through the town and searching for a discreet spot to park his van so he could settle in before it got dark. He eventually found a parking lot that looked promising and decided to make it his home for the night.
Oh no.
But it didn't take long for him to start noticing a series of red flags in the area, like people riding around with gangster rap blaring from a speaker, and a group of street racers speeding down the road right in front of the parking lot.
Really? Is this England?
As the evening approached, he was also left alone in the parking lot, making him a prime target for any would-be robber. So, after thinking about it for a few minutes, he thought it would be best to leave the parking lot and find a more secluded spot for camping. He eventually went down a dirt trail and parked in the middle of nowhere, without any houses or major roads nearby. This turned out to be the worst decision Brendan could have made in that situation, because at around 2:30 a.m., about 4 hours after he went to sleep, he was woken up by the sound of someone walking around his van.
Bro's weapon of choice is limited to knives or a bucket of acid.
I think someone's outside the back.
True.
That's two.
This person then tried to open the van's sliding door.
Oh hell no!
But before Brendan even had a chance to fully understand his predicament, this happened.
Oh hell no!
Hey!
Oh, they broke into his.
Whoever this person was shattered the passenger side window before running away once Brendan started shouting. In the video's description, Brendan speculated that this person was likely trying to steal the mini refrigerator he had on the passenger seat. While this might not be entirely accurate, there's still some truth behind it. Judging by the fact that the intruder fled the moment they heard Brendan, it's likely they were simply looking to steal something, nothing more.
Yeah.
As for how they managed to find his van in the middle of nowhere, it's entirely possible that they stalked him from when he was in town. However, given these circumstances, the situation could have turned out a lot worse. As one comment under the video pointed out, when you said you had found the perfect quiet spot after driving away from town down a quiet pitch-black lane in the middle of nowhere with nobody else around for miles, at that point I was absolutely terrified. How on earth you managed to go to sleep to begin with amazes me. A few blokes with their hoods pulled down and armed, and you wouldn't have stood a chance. While nothing truly tragic occurred, the experience was terrifying enough to rattle Brendan. Instead of staying the night, he drove through the darkness until daybreak just to make it back home, which was ultimately the right call.
Alright, Carlos, take care.
He's still making stealth camping videos, but now he's far more cautious about where he parks, especially when it comes to remote or isolated spots.
Yeah, that's scary.
In March of 2025, a camping YouTuber named Daniel Mark Brown planned a stealth camping trip in the woodlands surrounding Oswestry, England. His plan was simple: travel alongside one of the many hiking trails in the area and then go off-trail to find a good stealth spot. And this worked better than he expected, finding the perfectly hidden camping area in no time. After setting down his supplies, Daniel went to the nearby river to cook a meal before heading back to the spot he found earlier. By the time he came back, it was already starting to get dark, and the trail was starting to empty.
See, that's one
giving
thing
Daniel
about
the
this.
peace of mind to wind down and call it a night. However, what happened?
I've been watching like camping videos, and I always wanted to do it myself. But then again, some videos come up like this, or them just going missing or something, and then I get scared. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna watch the video and go to bed.
Next made him realize the true danger he was in. After laying out his sleeping bag, settling down, and finally falling asleep, 90 minutes had passed when he was suddenly jolted awake.
100% being spotted. Right, I'm trying to keep calm and keeping calm. I'm almost too scared to breathe here. I think a dog or something just came in.
Daniel was woken up by the cracking of branches, followed by the light from a flashlight. He eventually found the courage to unzip his sleeping bag to see who was out there. By this point, he couldn't think of anything else to do but call out to the person who was now aiming the flashlight at him. But instead of getting a reply of any kind, the person just turned around and disappeared into the woods, never to be seen again.
I guess there might have been like another camper. Another camper? No?
They haven't been about, I haven't seen a single light now for maybe 5-10 minutes. I don't even know. I've been just trying to keep as calm as possible. But when they walked off and the light went out, I don't even know which direction they were. But somewhere in that direction.
Like,
I
what did
forget.
you do
Let's
in that
just go.
situation, though? Like, let's be honest. What do you do in that situation? When you're just camping and then you see somebody? Like, what do you say? Do you just say hi or do you, like, be hostile? Because you don't know. You don't know them. What do you do in that situation?
This experience startled him enough to quickly pack his stuff and hightail out of the wooded area. However, if the person with the flashlight had malicious intent, leaving the campsite wasn't going to be an easy task. The way they refused to respond to Daniel's hello was unsettling enough. But how they silently turned off their light and disappeared into the woods suggested they might have been hiding, waiting to ambush him to rob him, or possibly worse. That being said, it's entirely possible that the mysterious person was just someone walking their dog at night or something else completely innocent. As for why they didn't reply to Daniel, it's possible they were just as scared as he was after hearing a hello from the darkness of the woods.
Probably.
However, we also can't rule out the possibility that they were trying to sneak up on Daniel for some sinister reason, only
I hope
turning
not.
around once they realized they'd been spotted. Whatever the case may be, Daniel made it out of the woods safely without encountering the same person again.
That's good.
Ellie and Graham are an elderly duo from the UK who travel around the country in
Oh,
their camper
whoa, whoa,
van
whoa,
while
whoa. I just figured something out. It's only been so far about the UK. I'm telling ya, do not go to the UK. UK people are not real. Alright? They're not your friends. They're entities working with the Draco reptilians.
blogging about their adventures on YouTube. In November of 2022, they were on one of their trips when they had to urgently travel back home due to an emergency. However, they were too far away to make it back in one day. After searching online, they found a stealth camping spot on the outskirts of a town called Altrium.
Oh yeah,
It
now that should
was
look like
a
some out of
fairly
Resident Evil.
small car park. But the couple was in a hurry, so they didn't have any other choice but to camp there for the night, hoping to get back on the road the next morning. What they didn't expect, however, was that this would
British people.
spiral
Oh, yeah,
into
you're
the
right,
most
you're right.
terrifying experience of their entire camping journey. By the time they got to this location, it was already dark out. They parked their van and settled in for the night, going to sleep at around 11 p.m. But then at 1 a.m., both of them woke up to the sound of loud music blaring from a car. However, the music stopped soon after, so they brushed it off and began settling back into their bed. That's when they both heard a disturbing bang coming from their own van. It was loud enough that they thought a tree had fallen onto their van. They quickly rushed
gun?
outside to see what had happened.
No, but British
and
people
this
don't have
was
guns.
the shocking sight they came across.
Just can't believe it. We've just been woken up with a loud bang, and
Oh, it was a brick.
you dropped something on the floor there. Or was that glass? 2 bricks. And someone's just smashed Merlin's windows while we were sleeping. So no, we don't recommend this as a place to stop. They smashed the windscreen, but Graham's hoping he can drive with that.
Oh shit.
But here's us in the middle of nowhere. with a
They do
broken
have guns,
window and a cracked
but there's a lot
windscreen.
more rules about.
200 miles from home.
Really?
After some investigation, they found 3
didn't
bricks
know
around the
that.
van, which was severely damaged.
Wait. So does that mean that any citizen can have them, or is that exclusive to cops? Because now we can start narrowing them down. Who could have had this? But then again, it was a break, so that completely contradicts my whole theory.
The windshield was cracked, the passenger side window was completely shattered,
Aw,
and the van
poor
had a
people,
massive
man.
dent behind the sliding door. More troubling than the physical damage to the van was the psychological impact on Ellie and Graham, who were now absolutely terrified. It's also possible that this could have been a trap designed to lure them out of the safety of their locked van. However, even after hours had passed, no one approached the couple, attempted a break-in, or made any kind of move toward them.
Thank
But
God.
instead of bringing comfort, this only made the two even more unsettled. They were just attacked with multiple bricks, yet they had no idea who did
I'm not
it
well
and why.
versed on their gun laws.
After talking to the
be
family from
honest.
another camper
It's all
van that
good.
was
It was
parked
just a
nearby,
question to
they
throw
learned that
out
the
there.
attacker came in a car, as the other family heard tire screeches after the attack. Ellie and Graham also figured that this was a group effort, because despite the multiple bricks, there was only one collision sound. In other words, there were at least 3 suspects who threw bricks at the same time. Why would anyone attack an elderly couple out of nowhere
That's
and
what
then
I'm
leave
trying to
without
figure out.
gaining anything from it? Maybe they just wanted to scare off campers for whatever reason. But if that were the case, why was the other van spared completely?
It might have been them.
Unfortunately, there's really no clues to help answer these questions. No
It could have
faces
been
were
them.
seen, no voices were heard, and no clear motive ever emerged, leaving the entire incident a complete mystery. And while Ellie and Graham were too scared to ever go stealth camping again after this incident, it seems by now they've since made a complete recovery and are back on the road again.
Thank God. Shout out, man.
On the 15th of July 2022, YouTuber The Abandoned Camper uploaded a video of her stealth camping in an abandoned cemetery.
Oh. Are you serious? Are you serious? In the damn cemetery?
From the 1800s.
Are we
She
kidding?
started off quite normal as she found a clearing hidden in the thick foliage and began
Oh
unpacking
hell
her
no! Yeah,
camping
just
gear.
look at that place.
After setting
That place
up
don't look
camp, she
real.
decided to explore the cemetery to pass the time until nightfall. And that's when things started to take a strange turn.
Oh,
As she
hell
was
no.
filming the gravestones, she began to hear what sounded like a bunch of kids screaming.
No. Terrible idea. Uh huh. Oh hell no! Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Yo, y'all hear that? Oh hell no! Like, why are you doing this? Why? What?
She assumed she was alone in the cemetery. However, she could not have been more wrong.
Oh my God.
As she was going back to her camp, she saw a group of kids in the distance who likely knew about her presence.
So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here, right now. But there are kids here. Like,
Could be
young
coyotes,
kids.
but still creepy. True. That's true. They
In a
can
cemetery.
make
And I'm
noises
wondering
like
how
humans.
active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? That dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So
Uh-oh.
I think
Oh, never mind.
I'll finish my exploring
It's been solved.
tomorrow
Wait, he has?
morning.
What was the reason?
There seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See?
Oh. No.
At this point, she was pretty certain that the kids knew about her and were just
It probably was. It probably was. Edna, it probably was.
messing with her. However, she still kept her camera rolling just in case, and even made sure that she wasn't followed back to the campsite.
I'm gonna keep this recording. Just in case.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But I'm also gonna stop and find out.
Yo,
what they're
look
doing, if
look
they're
over here.
actually
Look at this areas
watching me or not.
behind her. Look at these areas. Look.
Oh, I can see them.
Are they following her?
I just don't want them to see where I'm going.
Hold on. Y'all know the new movie that's coming out about like the kids going to the forest? What's going on here? Is that what's going on? Cause why is there kids out there in the forest, mind you, close to a cemetery at night? Some crazy shit, man.
Okay. I think they're gone.
I
Once
hope they're
back at her
gone.
stealth campsite, she started a small fire to cook her food. Unfortunately, this turned out to be a huge mistake.
Oh, no.
because shortly after starting the fire, she started hearing the sound of people talking and walking toward her in the forest.
Oh,
There
hell.
are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest,
Me neither.
especially when it's dark out.
Yeah.
So I might pack up and get out of here.
Probably should. Good idea. You don't want
When I
to end
think
up like
the coast
a
is clear.
scary movie character.
It's unclear what the kid's intentions were, and we likely won't ever know, as she made the wise decision to avoid any risk by packing up her things and quickly leaving the cemetery, making sure to remain as quiet as possible.
What if there were ghosts? Oh man, chilling scares. I always be dropping heat videos. That's about it, guys. So, if you guys enjoyed the scary part of when I make videos like this, go ahead and drop a like. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We're really close to 200 subscribers. And without further ado, guys, that's about it. So see you guys in the next video.